I'm forecaster Jimmy O'Neill for Smart Talk 1490 KMET.
That's right. It's
That's
the
right.
morning
It's the
show
morning
here on
show.
ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez, and you're, of course, tuned in to the great way that we love to stream, whichever way that you're doing so, on the radio, on the air, and or online. We appreciate you. Again, do follow us, KMET 1490 AM on Facebook. On Twitter, it's KMET Radio. Also follow us on social media platforms. Aaron M. Sanchez on all social media platforms. Speaking of social media platforms, TikTok. I actually downloaded it the other day because we're going to get around the corner an interview with somebody that we spoke about recently. But lately, I've been noticing TikTok has been kind of a source of news and information where we go, I can't believe that stuff is happening out there. We got Jesse Sanchez who's been checking that out. What's going on there, Jesse?
Right? No, yeah. Like I used to think that TikTok was just like dances and stuff, but no, there's a lot of people that do a lot more than just I don't want to say dumb dances, but just silly dances. Like a lot of people, they'll tell like history stories and stuff like that. Or what I just saw right now, it's a news or a smash and grab from a mall in California. It was just crazy, but it's just like a lot of the stuff I see on TikTok first before I see it hit the major news.
Yeah, and and it's funny what you're saying because I'm looking at some of the news and it looks like the area where this happened. And I don't know how to describe this except how many people would you have counted in that video that were in the smash and grab? And again, these are people that are in jumper suits, right? Or like, what would you call it? Like, somewhere in black, somewhere in red, and somewhere
Oh,
like in other.
yes. The video I shared with Aaron earlier today was about a smash and grab in a mall in Merced, California. And this is a jewelry store mall, or like a mall, or jewelry store in a mall. There you go. Uh, so I'm just like, wow, I've never even thought of people even considering doing something like this. But no, there was like what, at least 10 people. They all just apparently ran in there. Oh, apparently there's 10 to 15, so I was right. I got the minimum.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're all at least they had their face mask on. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, of course they did, right? In order to, not be seen, right? And those are the ones that don't complain. Um, but yeah, this happened exactly as you said, in Merced. So, um, the biggest thing I think is interesting for anybody that was watching it, and whoever recorded it, I say good job. Um, but it's almost to the point where people don't even care if there are cameras. You know what I mean? And when you get a bunch of people, and these look like teenagers ish, right?
They look
From
like a
body
lot of
types
them
and the way they move.
teenagers.
Huh?
You're right. A lot of them look like teenagers.
Yeah. Merced Police Lieutenant Joe Perez said it's disheartening to see how a group of people can commit crimes like this just so brazen out in the open at the mall. It was pretty casual. It wasn't sprinting to get this job done. It was so casual it was almost scary. Not a care in the world. And the video includes exactly what just said: sweatshirts and gloves, removing items from shattered display cases. So they took the sledgehammers, they just. It was almost like, and I hate to say this, but remember Grand Theft Auto?
Okay, okay.
Right? Grand Theft Auto had a lot of like that type of like stuff that you could do. You could just beat people up and steal their cars and all that, right? It's like that generation started saying, you know, why don't we do that in real life? There's a game called Roadblocks, and I know because I used to play with a little 7-year-old, and it was like that. You know, you would do a robbery, but I was telling but you would start off in prison, then you would break out of prison, then in order to get cash, you would just do it. It was a cool little fun game, but now it's taking it to the next level because this is called your lives are about to be in jeopardy because the majority of you probably going to go into prison at some point. Officers are going to figure this out. You know these people are local people, right? Unless they all like did a caravan out in a way. And these are not the ones that you want to call friends. Now, I could guarantee you almost by looking at the video, there were some very youthful people in that smash and grab. And they obviously probably 15, 16, 17, 18 people all together. When you go with that much of a crew into breaking in on a robbery like this, guarantee there's going to be maybe 3, 4, or 5 of those, which are kind of going to be like, oh, I want to keep doing this. Then there's those that just wanted to do it for the money. There's those that just want to do it for the fun. And then there's those that just kind of wanted to, I don't know, be part of something, right? But guaranteed, there's probably going to be a good solid 3 or 4, which their conscience is going to hit them in the next few days. Now, the question is, hey, man, are you going to rat on us? Oh.
The more people you have in your crew, the more mouths that have the possibility of snitching. So I gotcha.
You get where I'm going with this? And then you have people go from just a robbery to, well, I'm look, come over here. Hey, this guy's going to snitch on us. Now you have a problem with potential murder, right? So it goes from oh, yay, we got a lot of money, we got a lot of rings and stuff, to the next point of, well, how do you get rid of it all? Who do you give it to? And how much cash are you going to get it for, right? A lot of stuff, you put it into a pawn place, and they all try to, think maybe they'll make money that way. They're not thinking it through. They're just not, right? If you ever looked at the Italian Job, right? Charlize Theron and Mark Wahlberg, and the crew. They think it through, right? These are smash and grab robberies, but they don't think it all the way through. They go, oh, let's all together. Now, I will say this. If you were a mall patron in this mall, that would be something you would want to run away from. There is no way you would want to go save the day. So I feel bad for the patrol there, because there's no way to stop this.
Right? Like, what do you do if you're a security guard? Like, you can't really do anything. What are you supposed to do? Shoot them?
Yeah, and that's if you're armed.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, what do you do? Like, you can't tackle them because there's 15 of them, and you'll probably be dead if they catch you. But what do you do?
Yeah, and even Perez said, we don't have any information at this time indicating that they're dangerous. Obviously, they're willing to commit crimes, but nothing that indicates they're dangerous to the public. I will say that's most likely true because these are young kids or teenagers. Maybe an 18 or 20-year-old that kind of leads the pack with the idea. Obviously, they kind of all got together at some point, maybe in the last week and a half, and said, hey, this is easy breezy. Let's just do this, right? Now, the question is motive, right? Motive is a big thing here. And in essence, there's been a string of these types of things picking up and again and again and again and again. We just saw, I think, a gang of like 3 or 4 people come after these 2 girls in front of I think a bank, and rob them in broad daylight. Okay, and that was just a few days ago. Yeah, exactly. The police are on search for that. There are very brazen things that are happening, to which I say, be aware of your surroundings, people. Be aware. I go out in the public as of late, and trying to get, some people. I printed up some posters of some wanted men, honestly, because there's rewards at it, okay? And so I hang out in certain areas, and I see people be very brazen and very just next level crime, next level, hey, I want to do something bad. And the problem with that mentality is it gets worse down the line. If this is not the first time, this is definitely not the last. This is definitely going to be among some pretty bad things when somebody wants to just say, I don't want to do this anymore. And I can almost guarantee you 3 or 4 guys of that crew, or I don't know if anyone or a lady, are going to say that in their head, and it's going to pop up in the next 3 or 4 weeks, because that's what guilt does at some point. You say, wait a minute, I was in for the fun of it, but that's about it. Because some of the people, you could tell, were going to be left behind. It was an all for one. But what if you're an officer who's on the job? What if you have a gun? And what if you shoot when you're not supposed to? That happens. I just saw, I drove down Whittier yesterday on, I think, Whittier Boulevard, and I saw a crew of probably 8 to 12 policemen all around a hotel, or I should say a motel, ready for a guy to run. So they had all their guns drawn, and I was like, dang! And they were all surrounding the area, and then of course the ambulance that was already coming down the street was in silent mode because they didn't want to alert police activity. So they obviously caught the guy, but I'm like, okay, that could go really bad really quick if they suddenly draw their guns and they keep shooting because there's innocents in that motel, right? Whoever dropped the dime on somebody that's staying there is obviously, okay with it. But with rewards out there, with people saying, hey, turn in people that you think might have hurt somebody, these type of things are going to keep picking up. I say there's a way to do it safely, and it's anonymous tipping. Okay, so you give an anonymous tip, you give the information there. I've done it a few times. I'll give that information right now. Crime Stoppers is a really good organization, and I'm glad it's here in LA. All right, it's lacrimestoppers.org. Now, on this particular one, I don't know if there's a reward happening for this, but I will say for the shop owners, it's no fun. In order to have a jewelry store, even if it's like a Zales or a what are the other jewelry stores people usually buy rings and or jewelry from?
I have no idea because I don't really pay attention, but it's just like that's like one of the worst things you could steal. What are you gonna do with it? Like, are you
Yeah.
gonna wear it? Are you gonna? Do you know who to sell it to?
Yeah, and how much are you going to get for it?
Exactly.
People that buy rings and or finance them or do that, obviously the markup is really high already, right? So honestly, I like LA prices. I've never shopped in LA, but there's a lot of prices which are more affordable than the malls. But back to the mall owners. Yes, they have insurance, but I have a friend, and we've had her on the show, Angel Jewelers. Big shout out to Liliana Andriani in Rancho Cucamonga. She's been broken into. She has good jewelry, but she has like a stage of going in. You have to buzz the button, and then you let one or two people in the entryway, and then you buzz the button again, and then you go in all the way. That's safety security, right? But she was still robbed. But she was robbed in the middle of the night from next door into her place, I think. And some people do it from the ceiling, right? That's a whole other type of burglar. But again, not a smash and grab of 8 to 12 people. So when you see this, again, so public and so brazen in the middle of everywhere, you have to say, okay, just walk away. You do not engage. All right? You just don't. If you take video, that's one thing, but even then you got to be careful, right? Because sometimes people will see you taking video, and then you got to be careful with that. But it's on TikTok, so I know Jesse will share that in a way. But I'm going to show you this really quick because this is what I've been using in order to report certain leads that I've been able to follow up on. Okay, so I'm not going to keep it to myself. It's called Crime Stoppers, and if you have information. This is for the LA area, okay? And they work with all, but there's different ones in different areas, okay? You stay 100% anonymous, all right? No personal information, phone number, email, IP address, or locations requested, saved, traced, tracked, or monitored, period. Okay, now I'm going to show you something kind of fun about earning money, okay? It says, collect reward, and arrest has been made. Click here to collect your reward. They actually do pay for tips. And you just, if you have the information, you just submit it. So I'm going to go, I don't know if they have any here, but I'm going to go here anyway. Oh, see, and then you log in. They have it for the phone as well. But you can follow up on your tip and figure it out, or you submit right here. And you can also submit a tip by phone, 800-222-TIPS. And I will say, as crime continues to take off, it's also in Espanol, there's going to be people that will honestly just report just because they want somebody locked up, right? And then there's those that report because, honestly, they're not wanting for the person to get away because somebody has been killed. Now, in this case, so far, nobody's been murdered, right? But according to Crime Stoppers LA Regional, 3,875 homicides have been found out. They've received about 123,242 tips. Arrests made have been 3,589. You probably wonder, wait a minute, how so few with so many tips? Not all tips are going to be, how do I say it? Sometimes 8 people could have a tip on one person. You know what I mean? So there's that. Weapons recovered 279. Property recovered. Look at this: 2,433,404. Drugs seized: 37,000. I'm sorry, 37,341,216. That's as of December 1st, 2021. And how they work? Honestly, they get their funding. They use a three-part approach to preventing and solving crimes. The first part is to empower the community by providing a safe way to report criminal activity. Secondly, they partner with all forms of media in the LA region to inform the community on how to anonymously report crimes. Law enforcement is the final part of the triangle. They follow up on tips from community members. They're funded by private donations and annual fundraising events. No tax dollars are involved. The reward money paid out by the program is from the fundraising and donations from concerned citizens and businesses. Okay, now I'm going to show you some bulletins here, which there's money to be made, man. So if you are a person that hangs out with these people, hey, report them. Okay, I'm going to show you. Let's see. Yeah, I'll show you this one actually. This is a robbery in Gardena area. Okay. And this guy showed his face, big deal. Kind of dumb robber, I would say. Right, Jesse? Like, what the?
Like, the best bank robbers, their best friends would be a makeup artist. Have you seen some of their skills? Oh my God, they can transform a face into anything.
Yeah, exactly. Now, this is one, okay? So this is a bulletin, robbery, attempt to identify. And this one doesn't say how much you get paid on this one if you actually do this. This was at a 7-Eleven on Redondo Beach Boulevard, okay? And it happened October 24th, 2021. So you're like, how come it takes so long, right? But evidently they haven't found this guy. And he has kind of a general look. He'd be a hard guy to find because you'd be like, is that guy? Is that guy? Is that guy? He has no identifying features it looks like other than a mustache, which he could have shaved since then. But if you know the guy and you're in the area, just report it anonymously. And then they give you a code, and once you have the code, you're good to go with potential money, all right? Now I'm going to show you some other things here. And this kind of, Jesse started me down this path when we were looking at and kind of figuring out some other things here, but anybody could do it, okay? And I say the more information that comes out with people, the better it is for everyone, right? This is a reward in a double homicide situation, okay? Detectives from the LA County are seeking assistance with information regarding the murder of Michelle Kelly Love and Jordan Love. This was February 27, 2016. 54-year-old Michelle Kelly Love and her son, 27-year-old Jordan Love, were shot to death for no apparent reason while seated in their vehicle on the 19,500 block of Tillman Avenue, Carson. They've authorized a $25,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and her conviction of the ones involved. She was a mother of 3 children, and he had an infant daughter. Any information, you can just contact, and you could do so 800-222-TIPS and or report it on LA crimestoppers.com. So there's these, and then there's a whole brazen other situation that I've been seeing happening. And kid you know, I saw an accident last night. I was like, or maybe it was the night before. I don't know. It was captured on my dash cam. But there are so many people doing hit and runs, Jesse, and they just hit and they run literally, and you're like, why do you do that? So I will say those are kind of picking up a lot lately, and you have to kind of say, okay, I get it. If you are in a car accident and see someone, you still need to stop. But I think there are so many people without insurance or licenses, or just, it's weird. Like, I'm currently looking at one which hit a bicycle. Now, granted, the guy's okay, and thankfully somebody else got captured on their dash cam and they turned it in. But the vehicle is in question, and I think they're paying like $20,000 for that tip. And that was over on Glendale Boulevard off the 2 freeway. But it's just a normal-ish vehicle that honestly is on a very tight street that I kind of feel it was kind of the bicycle's fault as well. But the person should have stopped anyway and offered, something, you know what I mean? Of help, and or are you okay? I'm so sorry. And then you got to do a police report That way the person could be okay. You know what I mean? I thank God the person didn't die, but I've already seen one where they did die. So there's a lot of things here, and Crime Stoppers or LACrimestoppers.org, go ahead and punch that in, see some stuff, and or if you know something of any of these things, just report it. Even if there is no money, if you know of a crime, just report it, because this is hurting the communities. The communities go down, 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 down as these things get not found out. All right, we got to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Take KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
What is commitment, and why is it so hard to achieve? The new book, Committed, by Dr. Carmen Hara and Alexandra Hara, will make you reevaluate the way you think about love. Committed is a relationship manual that unfolds in 2 parts: the work you need to perform on the inside and the 7 distinct archetypes you will encounter on the outside. Committed, a new book available on Amazon by Dr. Carmen Hara and Alexandra Hara, will help to find and keep the love you deserve. Committed, available now on Amazon.
Hi everyone, Dave Levine here. The Dave Levine Show is back on the air, 10 to 11 a.m. Wednesday mornings on KMET 1490. Join me for an hour of Law & Order stories and commentary. Law & Order is now the #1 issue for Californians. If you miss it live, you can hear or watch it 24/7 on either SoundCloud or live stream. See you there. Thank you. Can't you see? It's just a few seconds.
The Holiday Inn Express in Suites and Banning is distinctively suited for your travel time out of the car. Off the road, you'll find a courteous, welcoming staff in spacious rooms with desks, flat-screen HD TVs, and comfortable furnishings. Enjoy the complimentary breakfast buffet, high-speed internet, and fitness center and pool. The Holiday Inn Express in Suites and Banning, conveniently located off the I-10 near golf, gaming, and entertainment. For reservations and information, call 951-572-5500. That's 951-572-5500, or go online at hiebanning.com.
Ruth didn't know she was leaving for good. She knew he would kill her. Could she save herself? Did she feel she was worth saving? How could she best protect her children? To love, honor, and betray, Ruth Tunnicliffe shares her true tale, from submissive to survivor, then thriver, now living a proud, purposeful life as an optimistic, inspiring, peaceful warrior. Can a person heal from feeling the guilt of a decision altering many lives? Weighted by living grief, moving through lessons learned, self-discovery, and land in self-love? Can someone who's been abused in every way move to self-trust, confidence, and arrive at living in peace? To love, honor, and betray, a sincere, honest letter to herself and her adult children, Ruth Tunnicliffe shares her story so that others may also find the inspiring, peaceful warrior within. Amazon worldwide, Barnes & Noble, RuthTunnicliffe.com.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Looking at the chat as we speak. We've got Patrice Broderick. We miss you, Patrice. Says, good morning, guys. I'm so grateful I live in Texas in a safe community. Yeah, we're happy you are too. But Jesse, I know you roll around some areas that are a little like you got to be careful. You got to watch your back.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I would not walk around. But you know what? I can guarantee you this would not happen in Texas because everyone has a gun.
Yeah, seriously. Rosalie says, I have only 2 rings worth of any real value. I never wear them. I'd rather have costume jewelry than the real deal. If I get robbed, no big deal. And I will say this, I wouldn't wear anything of value anytime soon because, and I had this conversation with my mother as of like a few weeks ago. I said the crimes are going to pick up more brazenly. All right. What they're not reporting on is that people are honestly not making a lot of money. Okay. Debt is high. We've had coronavirus here for, what, a year and a half now? There's been people that have been out of a job in between. There's people that have been trying to pay down their rent. There are people that are trying to make ends meet. And then you have inflation, right? The cost of even, like, I'll say this, even like food has picked up significantly from the beginning of 2020. I would say there's probably anywhere from an 8 to a 13, an 8 to a 15% increase in just food at the supermarket. Okay, why? I don't know, because they're all making money. There's less people in the U.S. or on the earth than there were before. So why are we paying more if there's less to provide? Does that make sense? Like, if you look at the financials, it's odd that we're all paying a lot more when in reality you're not providing more, you're providing less. I don't know if that makes any sense, but so who's charging a lot of money in between? So there's a lot of things going on. So you have communities that are already hit, that are already, I'm just going to say it, poor. Okay, I've been to some of these communities where there's cars that will hit you and maybe not pay attention. They hit you. I've seen people walking the street. I'm like, okay. Last night I saw like several people walking the street. I'm like, no, and I'm like, oh, you don't understand. People are hitting you, running away, and you are made to suffer in the hospital if you survive, right? There's been some fatal car accidents and or people getting hit. I mean, I know my aunt died of this like 3 years ago, but I don't know that situation exactly how it happened. All I know is it's happening more and more and more because people are not watching where they're going in the street. So be very, very mindful. And Jesse, you kind of noticed that too. But again, the financials for people are making people brazen, are making people go next level, and it's almost like they just don't care. So the assault, the robbery, the what else? The way they're smashing and grabbing these things. I'm not sure what TikTok user was that they posted that.
Ooh, good question. Let's see. I posted that. I even have it. I saved it just in case because I like to watch things over and over again.
Yeah.
So let's see. Maciel's body jewelry. Maciels body jewelry.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm looking for that. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. How do you share TikTok videos? Because I've been seeing more TikTok videos than ever before.
There's an option where it's like a little arrow, and a lot people will have their videos up to save and stuff like that. Or you can there's a share button.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I guess my point is this: seeing it is believing. But sometimes people just don't understand when this happens in your area. Be very mindful of your safety. That's number one. Okay. Usually I say, hey, do something if you can. But when there's like a mob of 8 to 12 people, no, there's no way you're going to win that fight. There is no way. Okay. And I'm not going to say the opposite. I would say this. If you live in an area where you have a defense as a weapon, be mindful that you know how to use it, when to use it. Because some people just use it all of a sudden out of the blue. I think there was a guy who was a truck driver, and he shot. There's a video going on around that. And they shared it. It was a dash cam that actually did it. And he took out his gun and he shot at the person shooting at him. Again, yeah, I know. It's crazy, the stuff I've been looking at. And it was on, I think, ABC News, which I highly recommend you to follow ABC News or ABC 7 News, which do a lot of really good stuff there. But if you have a weapon to defend you and or your family, learn how to do so responsibly. That's what I'm going to say about that. Because you don't want to be caught in a situation. Okay, I had a conversation. Did you just bring a knife to work, Jesse?
I always have a knife on me, regardless. Yeah, I always
Okay.
do.
And that's good, right? As long as you're, again, responsible. And Jesse's 100% responsible with that knife, right? It's
Oh
like,
yes, yeah, I remember when my first time I ever had a butterfly knife. Have you ever had one of those?
no, I'm not a big fan of knives.
Oh, okay.
Swords, I am. I love swords.
Yeah, well, I can't carry a sword in my pocket. So, a butterfly knife, interesting weapon. It's not for me. It takes it's a lot of skill to wield one of those, and I had way too many gashes on my fingers from just trying to wield it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no.
No, I get it. I do get it. But yeah, there's a lot of people that are being very brazen with guns. And I will say you're getting found out, especially with so many cameras up. Dash cams, I'm not going to lie, the dash cam that I have, I'm a little upset with because it wasn't recording when I thought it was. And so I'm like, okay, am I going to invest in a new one? I don't know. But it's almost to the point where it's an investment just for yourself. Um, and I don't know how to say that in another way, but get one for your safety. Get one for your um, even just for you. I've literally in a week come across 2 car accidents that happened in front of me. Right now, I had the video to prove it, and in fact, I probably gotta get one and then save it. But there are so many dash cams available, and vehicles have these. The brand new ones do, but they don't have the ability to record. I don't like that. I think they do have the ability, but they go, oh, it's privacy. I go, there's no privacy when you're out in public driving. So I think they need to make that available because aftermarket dash cams make sense. Even those that show the inside for Lyft drivers and Uber drivers, there are so many people just kind of like, there's areas where you just got to be really careful. I mean, I was mugged, in essence, in LA. Some would call it South Central. But I was at a McDonald's. People were like, what are you doing hanging out? I go, I had to use the restroom, man. Like, that's a normal thing to do. I was going to Venice, which even there the crime is odd, So I guess my point is this. Look, people take care of your mothers. I know I told my mom, I said, Mom, if you send something or just walk the other way, right? She has pepper spray for a reason. You know what I mean? And I will say this. We've gotten to a new threshold where this is kind of becoming a little too norm. And I do blame the governor who made it so all of a sudden, because we've seen this in San Francisco, right? San Franciscoians have seen this in CVS, Walgreens, smash and grabs have been a thing. So now we're talking about here locally, right? And it's because they've become so brazen. So brazen. So you have to be careful. You have to be mindful. And you have to just be aware. Now, I'm going to show you another one, Jesse. This is an interesting one. Because this has been picking up too. Fires, right? Fires have
Okay.
been picking up quite a lot. So I'm going to show you this one. And this is from the Department of Justice of the FBI. This is the one that you like to look at. Which is, this is what, I think you were the one that turned me on it. Because you go, oh, I like to look at FBI's Most Wanted. Which they actually caught somebody in Mexico recently. I'm not sure if somebody dropped a dime on him and made some money while doing it, but I say good job. So I think there's going to be a new 10th person on that wanted list. But here's one. I'll share this one. Seeking information, okay? Arson, LA. This happened May 30th, 2020. Now, this will pay you $10,000 for information leading to the identification and arrest of this one who is seen as this. Now, I will say this. It's kind of hard to see this person and know who they are. But if you've seen this person walk around like this or with this backpack, then you already know who the guy is. On Saturday, May 30th, 2020, an unknown suspect set fire to a LAPD kiosk at the Grove. This is at the Grove, which is a retail complex located at 189 The Grove Drive in Los Angeles. Once the fire was set, the unknown suspect walked away with another female. The unknown suspect is described as a white or Hispanic female. It's kind of hard to tell in the little shots that they have here. With a lean build, she was approximately 5'5" to 5'10", wore a black ski mask, a black hooded sweatshirt, black pants, and clear goggles. All right, so those are some, very very interesting garb, right? This is a hard one to just figure out unless they frequent the area, right? And or have that backpack a lot. So, but there you go. There's a $10,000 reward if you happen to know that person. Boom, don't tell them you're going to turn them in ever. Just, there are those people. I'm going to report you. You just report. You go to Crime Stoppers. You put that in. On this one, it has the information. FBI has their LA field office, and you call them, and you could contact them in that way, and you don't have to out who you are, right? Because there's some criminals that get in and then they get out, right? These are the kind that hopefully won't, but I've seen ones where they kind of like, set them up for the hearing, and they post a bail, and then they run away. There's two people that have fled, and I'm trying to figure that one out too, because that's like a $50,000 reward, right? So my point is this: if you have information, you might as well report it. Make some money right at the end of the day. You're saving the rest of everyone else, because this is just a handful of crimes out there that are happening, and just be careful. Okay, do not run in a mob, because I guarantee you the mob will turn against you. That's why I'm very afraid for the kids that were in that situation, because honestly, Jesse, it's one thing when you're friends with a friend. It's one thing when you're friends with one who doesn't want to be found out and go to prison, right?
Oh, most definitely. Like, if I was the person in charge of that, no, those kids would be done. But see, that's what I'm saying. It's just so, like, if I thought about it, they probably thought about it. I mean, I don't want witnesses, because the more mouths you have in your crew, the more chance someone's gonna talk. So,
yeah, no, you're getting it, right? You're understanding that. So I'm gonna go ahead and post this really quick here. Let's see, because I think I finally brought it up. So let's see here if I can play it. Hopefully it'll play. Let's see. And let me go ahead and play it here for everybody. So there you go. You can see what we're talking about. And when you see that, you see the hoodies, you see them running, just grabbing and then running for it all, right?
like, I've never seen anything like that before. That was so shocking. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, and when you look at people that take the video, right? Thankfully, this one's behind glass, and you see somebody else kind of like, not really running after them, but running with like a video like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm seeing this. And that's a good safe distance to be from. Nobody's coming at them going, hey, don't take my video, right? I would take video of the people on the outside, right? So I'm sure there might be some new information on this, coming up. This was posted 16 hours ago. And they posted our hearts. Oh, this was probably the jewelry place across the way that posted this. Our hearts go out to the staff of Prestigio. Hashtag smash and grab. Hashtag Merced. Hashtag jewelry robbery. Hashtag Prestigio. Okay, so they're probably friends of this jewelry place, right? So I guarantee there's probably going to be more investigation involved, obviously. But and I know some people are out there like, good, so what? These are store owners, man. You know what I mean? These are people that work for a living, and it's just
I hate that mentality.
Yeah, it's the
mentality. Like, oh, it's a company thing. But yeah, but if the business shuts down, that person lost their job.
Yeah.
And everyone else lost their job because that store's not working. And it's like, people don't understand that.
Yeah, the workers, right? The workers, the employees, the ones that, and because you've been in this situation, not like this, that bad, but you've been held at gunpoint. So you know what that's like in retail, right?
Yeah, it is not a good feeling, and especially when you're just trying to do your job, and they kind of take more than the money. They kind of take like your sense of safety. And that's something that you cannot get back.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. It's very well, even for those people that are in that video that took the video. It's like shocking, right? It's shocking, and what you don't think about. I know, because I've taken video of a couple people that, and when I do so without they knowing, but you could tell they're already convicts. They've already been in prison. And so I'm like, what have you got to hide, right? But I'm in public. I'm not like, hey, in their face going, show me who you are. So you have to be very careful in that way, because people are very aware with a certain sense of, I don't want to be found out, right? And it's like, okay, well, you got something hiding, right? So I leave it for later. I'm like, okay, let's see if that's going to be a crime of that person. So I take their vehicle down, I take their information down, I record it on my dash cam, and I do it because you never know, because these crimes are picking up. And I say to the community, be aware of each other. It's kind of like, okay, if you're in the neighborhood, neighborhood watch programs do work when people talk together, right? If there's a string of home invasion robberies, which we've already seen in parts of LA, in communities where people have money, I will say this: do not carry loads of cash. Okay, I saw a guy kind of casing around a bank the other day in Lancaster, and I was like, are you waiting for somebody to get cash and then follow them home and then rob them, or on the way rob them? Because that's happening, right? Not all get reported in the media because there's just so many crimes. And the police are honestly so busy, they're not able to investigate every single crime unless there's a lot of attention thrown in a certain way, right? So I will say this. Be aware of your surroundings. Hopefully you don't come across anything like this. I really do hope that. I've already come across a few potentials, so I'm like, yeah, be careful when you're out in public, right? And I do frequent certain areas known as South LA and South Central and other areas, and I see the community because I'm investigating a couple of little things to turn some people in. I got time, and I need the money, So my point is this: I get people. We gotta have, Jesse. We're gonna have a bunch of like what do you call it? Like Dog the Bounty Hunters on the show at some point.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool to have some like actual bounty hunters. This way you can get some tips and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's a job, man, and they understand the danger. There's lady bounties, there's men bounties, there's family bounties. Sometimes they work together because there's bails that are not met or people skip town, right? Bail bonds people are probably making a load of money right now with how many people have to go to prison and then want to get out and such. But if you yourself are wanting to do the right thing, just do an anonymous tip, because you never know the next crime. You never know the next person possibly dead. And I guarantee you, if 1 or 3 of these people go missing, other people are going to be like, shoot.
We told you.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's how it starts. Hey, what happened to Joey? Don't worry about it. Oh, shoot. Okay. What happened to Joanne? Don't worry about it. And then the next question, why are you asking so many questions? Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You just go, no, it's cool. It's cool. Right? But that is the situation that will happen probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks with this crew. It looks oh so fun until you roll with those guys. And then at the end of it all, you go, oh, shoot. All right. The ringleaders, probably the top 3, need to get turned in 100%. Okay, they just have to be, because I guarantee you there's going to be a problem there. I guarantee you. Let's see. Rosalie says, my boots are another story. Someone would make bank if they got a hold of my cowboy boots. Then it would be a big deal. I have extra insurance on my house just for them. I know, I'm weird. I will say, though, smash and grabs of like clothing, especially some of these shoes, you could sell those online and make a profit more than jewelry right now, because people want to buy these shoes. You know what I mean? And ladies, boy, the amount of money you buy on these things, it's a lot. Thankfully, the robbers haven't gotten that. Imagine that's desperate, Jesse, when they're like, give me your shoes. You're wearing Yeezys. Give me those $1,000 shoes. They're $1,000, man. They're comfortable, but man.
I've had someone try and steal my shoes once in high school.
You're kidding me.
No, he tried to steal my shoes. Although, to be fair, I kind of made fun of his friend who was bigger than me, because they came up to me and they're like, oh, you got nice shoes. And the other guy talked like a real squeaky voice, and I started to laugh at him. I was just like, dude, you got balls? And then they got all mad, like, give me your shoes. And they started to chase me, but yeah, no. But yeah, people in high school, they do that. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that. I remember being kind of like, I think 3 or 4 guys came at me, but I turned them in the very next day and they got suspended, so I was okay with that. But Rosalie says, I'll change my career to be a bounty hunter. I got to train you first. Okay, but yeah, you got to be careful out there, and you can't be so obvious either. But I will say this, it's an interesting way to go about it, because a lot of bounty hunters usually they usually roll with others. I'm not the kind of person to say, hey, alert everybody and then let me know. But I did let a guard around a Chevron say, hey, I'm looking for this vehicle. If you see it here, give me a call. Okay? And then I'll follow up on it because, I got nothing to lose. Seriously. But I don't want somebody else to lose because some of these people are armed, and people don't know who I am, right? So at the end of the day, it's a responsibility. You got to be careful, and you always have to watch your back just in case, right? Because you never know if somebody else is protecting that one. But if it's just one of us, thieves like this and our murderers and our stealers usually have 3 or 4 friends which they feel will never rat on them. But at a time that you need money, you might as well rat on them, especially if they don't know, right? Anonymous tipping and then tracking. What are you going to say, Jesse?
Just make sure that if you rat on a friend for the money, you never see them again. Because if you see them again, then they come, oh, where'd you get this nice car?
Well, they won't know because the rewards are anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000, right? And if they get locked up, that's even better, right? So the anonymous tipping, yeah, you never go. If anything, if I were still a friend of that person, let's say it was a really good friend, maybe it was you, right? And you killed somebody. Well, hold on, you killed somebody, okay? You get it? All right. So you're the one that killed somebody, not me.
I would completely understand that point.
Or the opposite. If I killed somebody, I would get that you would be like, you know what, dude, I gotta turn you in, man, because you're gonna kill somebody else, right? Now I understand sometimes like there are things that happen. And like these car situations, I kind of think through and I go, well, in this case, a bicyclist was on a road that's very busy. It's kind of easy to not see somebody. So maybe that person will only get 3 months, right? But what if the person brazenly hits people out of the blue? This is a cyclist. What if that's your son? What if that's your brother? What if that's somebody close to you and he's suffering a head contusion or he goes into a coma? Right? Do you want to get this person off the street and or responsible? I would say yes. So these hit and runs, which I've been picking up as of late, are very, very important to be aware of. That's why I love dash cams, because you have information there if you see it or don't see it. All right. So, but there you go. Rosalie says that's the dumbest thing a criminal does. They open their mouth and brag on what they do, and it's very true. They do. And so friends. Plenty will see these usually on media. The biggest ones have been the one on La Brea, the young lady who was I think 23 or 24, which was stabbed. Right, that thing was the biggest one. That got a lot of publicity, and it went from $50,000 reward all of a sudden to $250,000 reward. And I guarantee you, people were on the lookout for that guy, especially when they posted more video of the person. Everybody was on the lookout. I was on the lookout. I was down the street and I was looking for the guy. But that's a lot of money to be made, right? So yeah, what I will say is this: police need more. I don't know how to put this, but I'm just gonna say it. No one likes a policeman who is gonna brutally kill you in the street, right? We had that situation a couple years ago, right? We've had that, or making you suffocate, right? We've had that. But at the end of the day, you do need police because you need to be and or feel safe just shopping, right? You might be at the department store for some, I don't know, boots, right, Rosalie? Or maybe some leggings, right? Maybe some jeans, right? Maybe you just went to have a little juice with you and your kid. And now you have this situation happen, and you were out right there in public, right? People are used to going to the bank. At least I am. When I go to the bank, I always look at everybody in there because you never know when there's going to be a robbery. And I guarantee you robbery is going to pick up next. of banks. They've already been picking up. But you have to be very careful with this. And like I say, never approach a person and say you're going to rat on them. Obviously, that's a big no-no. Right? I see the movies where they go, I know you did it. Oh, you know how I did it. How do you know I did it? It's like, what do you think's going to happen next? Bye-bye. You're all of a sudden missing, right? So you don't do that. You just go, okay, cool. You go on to lacrimestoppers.org. And some of these areas, like in Houston, I know you guys are tuning in Houston, you have your own, actually, Crime Stoppers as well. And there's these organizations which you do an anonymous tip, and you do it online. It's very simple. Do it in the comfort of your home. Do it on your phone. They have apps that you can do it on your phone. And you just anonymously tip this. You may not make anything, but at least you're helping the community and or the next murder and or crime happening. Because there's a mentality that happens again and again and again and again and again with people that do this first and foremost. And I'm not saying all of these kids, because they are kids, are going to continue doing crime. If they get found out, it's better to get found out now than allow this type of mentality to go down the line. Because what happens 3 or 4 years later when, one wants to be, well, that depends. What's going to happen next, right? Everybody thinks John Wick, right? Like, how did John Wick become John Wick? But this League of Assassinators or Assassinations, right? But that's a whole other level. These kids are not there yet. And will they ever get there? Honestly, no. These are the kind of kids that John Wick would kind of do away with, right? These are like the crime bosses never. These are the crime ones that will be the runners for easy, quick cash. There's no responsibility. So you keep going to a life of crime. It's sad but true. It sounds like not a thing, but it's going to be a thing. So will I want these people to be locked up? Yes. Do I want the people to be safe in the community? Yes. Do I want the families of these to be found out? Yes. Because you do not want this to be in your family and or with your brothers or sisters, because there is a way to make money honestly, goodly, and of course in a responsible way that will not get you locked up. So do that, do more of that, and we're out of time. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well, people. And for those of you tuning in, I want to say thank you, Bobby. Thank you for the 50 stars there. We see that. We appreciate you. He says, good morning, Earthlings of Earth. Rosalie says, let's see, if I killed someone, I wouldn't tell anyone, and I would stop drinking too, just in case I got drunk and talked. So if you ever see me go dry, then you know. I get that, Rosalie. Totally get it. But yeah, look, there is a right way to be responsible, and I will say be responsible all the way through. But I will say this. We as a community need to kind of say, no, we're not okay with this. It's one thing to see the situation and just kind of look at it. I know some young ones and youthful ones go, yeah, but big deal. At the end of the day, and whatever the thing that comes up, they think, well, it's not that big of a deal. But long term, it always is. They say crime doesn't pay. I will say crime does pay. Until you get found out, right? And that's what criminals do it for. You wouldn't go to this if you weren't making something at the end of the day. I don't know how much you make by a smash and grab of a bunch of jewelry nowadays. It's kind of like back in the days of like stuff that you think. I don't know. You usually have to have a person, kind of like the Italian Job. If you're going to steal a piece of art or art stuff, you got to have a way to recoup your cost, right? And they have a lot of ones where like they steal a lot of jewels, but at the end of the day, jewelry doesn't go very far. People, I don't think, understand this. They need to understand it because it just doesn't make any sense. But back to the situation, okay? The reality is people need to make money. I get that. People need to save their money, right? I get that too. People need to be aware that it's other people's lives. When you get desperate like this, at what point will you honestly be okay with stealing something, hurting somebody along the way just to be never found out? Okay, that's where these kids are going. And I don't want to be that person saying, hey, kids, but I feel like we need to save them, right? They need to be saved. Because at the rate that they're going, they are not going to be saved. And that's the sad part. Am I okay with that? No. Because I see kids like this being wrestled around with the kids that they hang around. And these could be your kids for all you know. Sometimes parents are like, I didn't even think about it. And other parents just don't even consider it. But you don't know what your kids are doing during the day when they're not at school. Are they running around with other ones like this? I don't know. I hope not. I hope not. Because it's a situation that nobody wants to find themselves in, to go, are you kidding me? You did this? You participated in this? And that is usually at the worst part of their time, all right? Now, I want to show this again because I really do think this needs to kind of be alerted to all of us in a way to say, okay, I don't want this for my family, okay? Because this, I guarantee you, is happening again and again and again. I'm going to show this to you again. All right. Now, if you were in the area, what would you think? Okay, you see the guy in the red. He's pretty obvious with the jumpsuit. Other ones just have a sweater. A lot of them have hoodies. Oh, I guess there's two guys with red jumpsuits. Now, do they roll around in the community with these? Oh, I guarantee you they do. Do they have face masks so you could barely see them? Yeah, absolutely. Now, the ones with the black hoodies and black jumpsuits, you know, there's a guy that tripped and fell down. They cause a lot of damage. They steal a bunch of stuff. And this is happening again and again. It's picking up. See the one that kind of got like, hey, don't leave me behind. And you see the employees just going, oh my God, in the far distance. It looks like they were going to attack them, or if they did attack them, right? While the other ones are just grabbing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's almost 20 people there in this video. Prestigio Jewelers. Wow. Wow. But everybody's in it for themselves. And the problem with that is, if somebody had been able to defend that, what would they have done? And I guarantee you, for people to take out their video, they must have made a lot of noise, because a lot of shouting, right? Hey, you know, expletives being said. Yeah, I see a couple girls in that crew. So you know these people all know each other, right? But I guarantee you this is going to be found probably in the next few days. Guaranteed. But what happens if that's your kid? What happens if that's your family? What happens if that is the mentality in your community and or your neighborhood? Are you next? You know, Rosalie says, I'm not going to wear fancy stuff anytime soon. Yeah, you know what? Leave it at home, right? Don't wear anything flashy. There are people, celebrities, that are known for wearing this stuff. How many have been invaded on? Right? It's not a fun situation. It's fun to watch in a movie. It's not a fun situation to live this life. There's nothing fun about it. Now, do I blame the government and the amount of time that we're in during coronavirus for this? I do, up to a point. And I say it in this way. People are desperate. People are wanting to make money. And they're rolling with the wrong people that are taking advantage of them. And that's not right. I don't like it. I don't want it. But we're in this moment of time where we have to make do with it. Okay? I guarantee you that shop is not going to be the same. Not for the next several weeks. And I guarantee you, when this makes the rounds, and it will, people are going to know info about this, because I guarantee people are like, is that Johnny? I don't know. Is it Johnny? So, all right, people, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye-bye, everyone.